You rush forward with all your fins because you see a brazen bird eating a tiny, defenseless crab. Its beak is already closing on him. But at the last second, you lunge, splash hard, and drive the bully off. Phew, almost lost the poor thing. But what on earth is happening here? Okay, better start from the beginning. Water rolls over you, and at last, you're free. The long days trapped in that clear bubble are over. Now you're in open water, flicking your fins. One by one, the others break out too. Every second, there are more of you. In this crowd of little ones, there's one oversized giant. That's your father, a mudskipper. He waves a fin as the current carries you away. It was your first and last meeting. You drift and have no idea where you're going. Ahead, a huge mouth opens. Lucky, this time it's your brother. And that one too. All you can do now is hope the next 30 days go your way. You're completely defenseless, and nobody needs you. For the first few days, you live off the food stash in the small pouch you were born with. After that, it's on you. You start catching your own food. First tiny organisms, then gradually bigger prey. Everyone is after you. Here, survival feels like nothing but luck. Day 30 comes. Somehow, you still haven't ended up as someone's lunch. You've grown a little, your fins are stronger, and you've learned to control your body. Because of that, finding food is easier now. Still, you can always end up in someone's jaws. Better get used to it. This is how it will be for the rest of your life. If not today, then tomorrow, some heron will snatch you. So you accept it and keep to the basics each day. You eat, you grow, and you keep rising to the surface to gulp air. Something keeps pulling you toward it again and again. You already know how to swim. What about walking? You won't even need to decide. Nature decides for you. At some point, the water draws back and you're left standing on bare ground. Nice. At least here you can see better. But not for long. Your eyes start drying almost at once. You're seconds from going blind. You roll them frantically in every direction, trying to find relief. No use. So you simply pull them inward. In that instant, they soak in the moisture of your sockets, and your vision snaps back. Congratulations. You've basically blinked. Keep doing it, or they'll dry out again. You can breathe here, but only while your skin stays wet. Soon, your skin begins to dry, too. Everything gets harder. So, out of desperation, you tip onto your side, and that helps. From time to time, you have to wallow in the mud just to wet your body again. Still, lying like that feels unsafe. Ahead, you spot a shallow puddle and start crawling toward it, pushing off the ground with your fins. You manage to move across land. At last, you reach the puddle. You barely get a moment to paddle when an unfamiliar mudskipper rushes straight at you. He leaps and snaps, trying to bite. It's his puddle. Better find another. You crawl from one spot to the next, only to be chased off by hostile neighbors again and again. This can't continue. You finally snap and start digging, scratching a boundary that says, "This is yours." Mouthful by mouthful, you take in silt and carve a burrow. Now it's your territory and you'll defend it just as aggressively. For now, food. You're hungry, so you crawl forward, sneak close, and swallow a worm. Then flies, beetles, any insects you can get. You edge up, spit a tiny bead of water, and suck it back fast, almost like a tongue. You could keep foraging like this, if not for one more shift. The tide turns, the water returns. You crawl back to your burrow to refine it, drop inside, and shape a chamber that traps air. Now this is your shelter, somewhere you can breathe calmly even during high tide and hide from predators. It's much safer here. From time to time you surface, take a mouthful of air, and refresh the chamber inside. Finally, the water recedes again, which means it's time to hunt. Little by little, you learn not only to crawl on land, but also to jump by pushing off with your tail, moving a bit faster. It's also a much better way to drive strangers off. You keep surprising yourself with your talents. One day, while foraging, you don't even notice how you start climbing a tree. You're good at it. Thanks to the suction pads on your belly, you crawl higher and higher until you're on a branch. Next time, you'll climb up in advance so the water won't carry you far from home. That's how it works here. You live in mangrove forests where tides come in and go out twice a day, so you have to adapt to avoid drifting too far. Until then, your homemade tongue is always with you. All your spare time goes to finding food. Gradually, you get used to spending 90% of your time on land. You're a very unusual fish. Yes, a fish, because you have gills for breathing in water. And on land, you breathe through your skin, and somehow through your mouth as well. The only reason you haven't left this swamp is that your body must stay wet to breathe. You've settled in well, you've grown, and now you're craving some adventure. Something pushes you toward breeding. It's time to find a female. But you know that just being pretty with fins won't be enough, so it's time for more construction. You take soil into your mouth and start digging, running the root hundreds of times and gradually building a new burrow with a special chamber inside. It took serious effort, but the home is ready, and now you have somewhere to bring a mate. All that's left is to find her. You climb a tree and look around, then drop into the water and start moving. More precisely, jumping across it, covering meter after meter. It's much faster than swimming. Another talent revealed. You cover a long stretch and reach a place where many females are already waiting. But it's not that simple. One apartment isn't enough. You have to prove you're truly the best and enter the arena, literally fight another male. First, you flare your fins and open your mouth, trying to scare him with your size. No luck. Then you threaten him with a couple of lines. That doesn't work either, so you'll have to fight. You leap toward him, trying to smack him midair with your tail. You land it a few times. Great! But your strength is fading. You drop to the ground game and start grappling, each trying to pin the other on his back. At one point, you lock on with your mouth and throw him a few centimeters to the side. That's it. A slap of fin on the ground, and he submits. You make a couple of final feints his way, and he fully backs off. Victory! Head held high, you crawl toward the female. She can't resist such a sporty Mudskipper, and you head to your freshly dug apartment. You show her the chamber you crafted today. She lays her eggs there, then says she's going out to get milk and leaves. They all say that, and never come back. Your relationship didn't last long. You're left with the kids completely alone, but you won't abandon them. You're a good father. In the days that follow, you'll fiercely defend the burrow from anyone who wants to eat the eggs, and you'll keep refreshing the air in the chamber until you see they're mature enough. Then you'll flood it yourself so they can get out and set off on their long swim. Kids grow fast. After about half a year, you set out again to find a mate, repeating the cycle. And on one of those days, caring for your future offspring, you rush toward a bird hunting a tiny crab. At the last second, with a jump, you save the poor thing from the winged hunter. He bows, thanking you for the rescue. But spare me the gratitude. Yesterday he ate all your eggs. You didn't even notice him slipping into the burrow, probably while you were blinking. And he left you with nothing. You came here for payback. You open your jaws and swallow that claw leg in one gulp. Well, at least lunch was tasty today, and for the heron too.